Meditation is sort of laying the great foundational bed for manifestation. Happy morning, dear friends and masters. A wonderful afternoon, evening. We're talking about yesterday purpose. If we align to a purpose, then we are very happy that we are deeply mindful, that we experience whatever experience we experience fully. Because that is part of the plan. And when it is part of the plan, then it's not only a body that we're moving, but our inner consciousness, that intelligence is also moving with it. So to know the purpose is to keep tuning in, to listen in to your feeling, to how to develop that ability. First, get that clarity, and to second, to gain the strength to do it. Both are required. Breaking out of the comfort zone to be able to go and take that step in action. However, it requires increasing of sadhana, the practice. How do we increase our practice? What is the way to strengthen our practice? Then we get a lot of ways we start looking at it, but then we look from Patanjali Maharshi, who's done enormous service for meditation, who has studied various sciences of meditation, practice or methodologies, and then organized them all into these Yoga Sutras. There are Yoga Sutras that is written in 4 volumes, and 1 volume about the practice. He talked about gaining a lot of knowledge. Then he said, the practice is yoga, is chitta vritti nirodha, is to remove the mind stuff. Yoga is chitta vritti nirodha, is removing the mind stuff. It is also defined from Vedic models as Raja Yoga, Hatha Yoga, Siddha Yoga, Raja Yoga. There are many yogas. Raja Yoga is the meditation, removing the mind stuff. What is meditation? Chitta vritti nirodha, remove the mind stuff. Prevent all the activities of this monkey mind, relentless, incessant thoughts of the mind. To make this practice, and I looked at all, to look at various practices, you put all of them, and then define these 8 limbs of yoga. There is perfect science for this whole thing. There are 8 limbs of yoga. But yoga, chitta vritti nirodha, we're talking about the Raja Yoga, which is what we are doing every day to every day we're practicing this simple breath mindfulness technique to empty the mind, to remove the unwanted thought, to completely be in that state where all these activities of the mind are removed. So the process is in these 8 limbs of yoga, yama and niyama, things that you do to strengthen the practice. And then there comes the asana, pranayama, are things that are necessary for you to go into the practice. When you start sitting down for the practice, you need asana, pranayama, so 2 things. And then the actual process itself is defined in 4 stages. The actual process of doing. Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, 4 stages. Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. So Yama Niyama, to get into, to be ready, to go into the practices, or to strengthen the practice, do a few things so that it's going to help you to have your practice go deeper and deeper. These are very difficult concepts to practice. We'll come to them. Yama Niyamas, we've not spoken about it. And this instead we started off from the day 1 about asana. What is the asana? We said we'll not go into too many complicated things. Instead we just do simple more thing that is most comfortable asana. Asana means the posture. We said we'll sit down in the most comfortable posture. Sukhasana. Sit down. Comfort is important to the body. We don't need the special Padmasana right now. We're not sitting for 24 hours right now. That is later. Those who want to sit for 24 hours, then of course you need to get trained in some more so that body is tamed and can settle down for a longer time without disturbing you. So Sukhasana is good enough. We don't need anything more. Then pranayama, what is the breath aspect? How much we can take help of this breath that is there, because prana, the breath is the connecting between outside and inside. What can we do with it? Because breath is energy. Do I need special processes? Yes, if you have a proper asana, if you have a different, more stringent asana, your body is a lot more and settled down. And so, yes, it is possible that you're going to increase your depth of meditation. But from a day-to-day to begin with, to go through an hour of meditation, 2 hours of meditation, to 3 hours of meditation, we don't need anything special. Simple Sukhasana is good enough. Then pranayama is to observing your natural breath to empty the mind. Sukha Maya pranayama is to make the breath that is there, but simply observe it. Natural process, not an artificial process. We're talking of adopting a skill, adopting a process that is lifelong with us in any situation, everywhere, by anybody. And so that is got to be the most simplest. I'm at airport. I've got 10 minutes. Why would I not utilize it? Why can't I become one with the field if I have the 10 minutes? So I sit down and close my eyes. Beautiful, it is done. That's all we do. The pranayama that we are doing is to be observing the natural pranayama. We're not tampering it, we're just doing the natural pranayama. What is it? As your breathing process. We observe the breathing process, nothing more. We don't manipulate the breath. We don't change it into different states. Now, it is true that when you are doing a lot more other breath work, various processes, then of course we are gaining a lot more energy of various kinds, but they all require effort and they require special time, special place. You need an expert guidance, many more things are there. may not even be necessary at all. The more we practice it, the more we practice Ana-Pana-Sati, the more we realize that what I'm looking for today, I'm already getting it. So why do I need to do something else? This process is so simple. It's a science of energy maximization. We do less, but we gain so much more. Science of energy maximization. Do nothing. Observe the breath. Do nothing. You consume so little energy to observe the breath. You see, when you do heavy breath works, a lot of times we get exhausted. But Ana-Pana-Sati, we don't get exhausted. You sit down, observe the breath. Nothing more you're doing. Not possible to get exhausted. So, asana, pranayama, they're the four processes to go into the depth of meditation we're exploring. What we are doing, directing a senses inward, pratyahara, directing the senses inward, pratyahara, inward, then dharana is to observe all that stuff that's happening inside. The body is shaking, and I see the sensations in the body, somewhere energy, currents, this, the heaviness, lightness. Dharana, observe everything. Dhyana is to go beyond and travel with the astral body. Sukshma Shariraya, Dhyana, travel around and see the vipassana, the true seeing. And then Dhyana, Samadhi is the ability to gain all answers so that you are completely in a blissful state. You understand all answers inside you. And so then you are in a state of, the state of equanimity. No longer look at something as good, bad, something as low and high, something as special, something is, there's no labeling of anything. It's all, you got the perfect equanimous state, be in the equanimous state of everything. Those are the 4 steps of doing the process which we do. But then Patanjali talked about the first 2 Yama-Niyamas. If we want to strengthen our practice, then we do those. The practice starts with simple asana, simple observing the pranayama that we're doing, and then automatically we're directing the senses inward because we close our eyes, and so sensory perceptions are driven inward, and so there is experience happening, we're observing it, and then as we observe, then we start seeing visions, this, that, all that is going to happen automatically now. Whatever we're doing is perfectly explored in these 4 stages for some other day discussion. The process that we're doing is perfectly aligning to that. But we jumped and started with asana. We didn't start with the first 2. But it's good to know, in order for me to go deeper into my practice, there are yamas and there are niyamas. Yamas are fundamentally how to deal with myself, the body, the mind. Niyamas are which will improve my willpower, the interest towards practicing more. Yamas are essential, the way I carry my life, and the niyamas are that improve my willpower more and more. So to continue to improve our practice, the 5 yamas and the 5 niyamas. And if you started to a student to begin with and say, hey, do this, and then nobody would be able to even get into meditation. And so Patriji said, we'll keep aside Yama-Niyamas first. Let's go with immediately practice of meditation. Start with it. And then as you do meditation, then Yama-Niyamas become easy. And as they become easy, when we're aware of them, we start practicing them a little more. The 5 yamas that are there, which are essential: Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, and Aparigraha, without any order. We will not know what the order is. Leaving the Sanskrit words to understand it. Ahimsa is not causing himsa, to violence to somebody, hurt things to somebody. So physically we understand it now. We want to stop that violence. Everything is connected in this universe. Everything is connected in the energy field. So everybody is observing on somebody else based on what they're going through. So the sooner we stop ahimsa, the sooner we stop the himsa, the sooner we gain ahimsa. So we increase our practice towards ahimsa. Now, what does that mean? We understand physical hurt, but I would ask us to go to the next step of no complaints, no judgments. Don't hurt people through words. And we label people. When we keep judging people, when we keep complaining onto things, then we are causing the same hurt, same himsa. So we go beyond to understand ahimsa a little more deeply. No complaints, no judgments. The common sense to not cause direct physical hurt. It's common sense. It is given. A meditator, the more you practice, so it becomes obvious that, okay, I'm everybody, and so let me not cause his himsa. But then no judgments, no complaints. These are things that are causing people to get hurt more and more and more. No judgments, no complaints. Or recognize that I'm the one who's creating my situations. So one, no judgments, no complaints. Satya is to speak the truth. Okay, so we understand now we are speak and follow the truth. Being integral, so gaining the strength to express. We talked about as part of our emotional intelligence, as part of self-expression. Now we got the strength to speak the truth in a way that improves everybody in yourself, at workplace, everywhere. You don't sweep things under the carpet. Speak the truth. We go beyond. Satya is to recognize and then be in unison with your thought, with your words and actions. It's called Trikarana Suddhi. Go one step extra. Satya is to be speaking the truth here in thought, in words, in action. We do the same. We are aligned to our body, mind, soul, three things, the three fields. We are aligned to it. Saying one thing and doing something else is not Satya. That's manipulation. That's managing stuff. Deep inside you have one, but you do something else. That's not Satya. Aligning to what we think and what we do and what we say. Manasa, Vacha, Karma, that's true Satya. So there is purity of what we speak, and then the Trikarana Suddhi of aligning all three. It is not sufficient. If I say some good words, it has to be aligned at my thought level. Because by doing so, dear friend, then you're not giving conflicting directions to your consciousness to progress further. By talking in terms of progressing our meditation. You see, if we have one thing here, when people come home, oh, why did these guys come again? Now it's so much trouble for me. That's in the thought you release it. But in front of them, you say, hey, come. Yeah, come. Two different things. If that is the thought you have, tell them, thank you for coming, but this time I'm not able to handle you. So can you please come tomorrow? Be courageous to do that. Because if you do, the consciousness is confused. You have one signal saying that it's a trouble right now. Another signal you're telling through word that you come. Total opposite. You're not aligned. So aligning to a thought and word is essential as part of Satya to increase our practice. So we don't conflict. We don't send the conflicting signals. You're talking to increase practice. A lot of times you say, I want to meditate for 6 hours next program, but I can't do it. Why? There's a delay. I have the intention, but I'm not able to go forward with it. That day comes, something else will come. If not anything, my sleep is there. The sleep is body is telling you it's okay tomorrow. You won't get up. A lot of these are happening again, to improve those, we get better and better. We become more more aligned to our thoughts and words in everything we do. We want to become that truthful slowly. So seeing a meditator will improve our practice, understanding, align to those three. Other practices, the other three are there, is to not take anything that's unnecessary. Asteya, aparigraha, brahmacharya is to be very, very serious and sincere in seeking. Brahmacharya, sincerity in seeking, total sincerity in seeking. Not giving up things, but total sincerity, absolute sincerity. Developing that when we are teachers, being more time, spending the time in the company of it, wanting to ask questions. Shraddha, total Shraddha. Brahmacharya means that aparigraha is an asteya, is non-stealing, means don't take anything that is not required. Material possessions, be satisfied. Spiritual aspects, be greedy, go after it, ask for it. Be satisfied with material things, with what you have, because they'll automatically come. If I'm interested in increasing my practice, then I'm doing these things. I'm looking at how I'm carrying myself, how much aligned to my thought and word. I'm not judging and not complaining people. Number two, I'm happy. I'm actually not going up asking this material thing, that material thing. Instead, I'm greedy to ask more spiritual progress, spiritual knowledge. Want to know more about my past. Want to read this book. Want to know more about Socrates' teachings. If somebody is talking about them, I'll go and listen to it. So matters of material, we are satisfied. Matters of spirituality, we are deeply going after and asking for more. Automatically, the material things will come. They have to come. We're talking of integral practice. And then the last thing in this is to take help only when it's necessary. Really, really necessary. Try to get answers through yourself. Don't just because you got somebody, go out to them every time. Get answers from yourself. Your sadhana, the more you try it. Before you ask for something, really understand, is it necessary for me? Can I do by myself? When you are exhausting, then you go. That determines your sincerity. And so we look from that point of view. How can I get an answer from myself? Get that contemplation going inside you for everything. And so, dear friends, it automatically helps us to strengthen our practice when we do these 5 things. We'll probably send a wisdom note on it in a few days, or the next few days, how to strengthen our practice. Let's go into meditation. We have after meditation, listening to some of the leaders' talks, to their understanding of meditation and how it's helping them, what helped them to be successful. So our practice is doing breath mindfulness meditation, Ana-Pana-Sati. Relax yourself, dear friends. Sit comfortably with your eyes closed. We are doing breath mindfulness meditation, is observing our natural breath. And when you have the eyes closed, observe that the mind is empty, be in the state of emptiness. In case you have thoughts, attention back to the breath and observe the breath, and then slowly become empty. Called breath mindfulness meditation. And before that, we practice in heart elevation process. But today, we're going to skip the heart elevation process and jump into Ana-Pana-Sati or breath mindfulness meditation. Relax yourself. become aware of that emptiness, that void inside of you, all around you. When we empty your mind, we move away from the matter. We experience that greater emptiness, that blackness, that light. All emptiness is energy. This is that intelligent awareness, that consciousness, that observer. The longer you stay connected to this energy, to this emptiness, the more aware you become. The more clearer you become. And aligned to your purpose, Allow yourself to stay connected to that emptiness, to that infinite depth of that emptiness, spreading far and wide. This is the field of all wisdom. The longer you stay connected to this emptiness as no body, as no thing, the more you tune in to this greater wisdom. Allow yourself to merge into that emptiness of yourself. This is your divine self. Friends, let's express gratitude to all things and everybody. Gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. Your gratitude to your parents, your teachers, your mentors. Gratitude to all the people in your life, your family, your friends, your colleagues, your relatives, everybody, your partners. Give thanks to this grand nature, the bird, the fish, and the animals, to everything you use, the technology, the system, the government, the companies. Your gratitude to yourself and to this intelligent quantum field for allowing us to experience so much more in this life. Relax your body. Recollect your experiences from the session. And whenever you're ready, keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds, and then you may open your eyes. Okay, dear friends. Hope you enjoyed the session. Yes, Anushka.
Thank you so much, Chandra sir, for wonderful music and meditation. Namaste, dear friends and masters. It really feels great to see every day you people joining and adding your energies to this wonderful group. I'm really enjoying this. Thank you so much. On behalf of Buddha Seva Quantum Foundation, I wish to thank all the donors who have contributed between 16th October and 21st October. I'm announcing the names of the people contributed for our forthcoming magazine, Buddha Seva magazine. Rajadi Jagan Mohan and Kamarajgadda Nagalakshmi, thank you so much for contributing for this noble cause of spreading this message through our magazine. And I also would like to thank Shanta K and Ganesh Margabandhu for contributing towards conducting our programs. Friends, we incur various costs for conducting our programs, be it music development and content development, promotions. While we have many dedicated volunteers, we have also engaged few employees for carrying out our regular day-to-day activities. Our beloved mentor Karthikeyanji says, Dhyana Dana is noblest of all the other kinds of dhanas because we are empowering the people and giving a complete transformation. So I request all of you to join hands in spreading this meditation wisdom and spiritual science across the globe. Thank you so much. Our immense gratitude to the donors who have contributed other amounts too during this period. I request all of you to contribute, and you can also become a volunteer for taking this to a broader level. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anisha madam. And most certainly, my deepest gratitude to everyone who is contributing and supporting us, coming forward in partnering with us in this cause. So thank you, everybody. So before we listen into one of the business leaders, I have a lot of great respect, who's been highly successful in what is done during his career. Shri Ganesh Margabandhuji. Namaste, we have any announcements. Today is Saturday, being the business leader day.
Yes, sir. Yeah, announcement is regarding our upcoming 3-week program, Passion, specially designed for youth and upcoming graduates. Going to start from 14th of November. By now, dear friends and masters, you are well aware of the benefits of meditation, how it can transform your life. So please circulate among your nearest and dearest ones the program Bliss, starting from this 14th of November next month. Thank you. And quiz 4 has been sent to you, those who have opted for the certified program. So kindly check your emails and submit the quiz as early as possible. Yes, sir.
What about masterclass of Saturday?
Yes, sir. Sujata, madam. Yes. Yes, sir. We have in the evening master class by Sujata Shriram, a teacher, senior meditation coach, and director of Shakahara Mahaswami Pyramid Dhyan Kendram. So kindly do attend the master class starting from 5:30 p.m. IST onwards.
Thank you. Thank you, madam. Thank you, Ganesh, for taking time to be part of this program throughout and agreeing to share some of your thoughts. This program is gaining excellence through meditation. And so in the beginning itself, we said it is jnana and dhyana both. And so everything, so jnana is the wisdom that we gain, which can be absorbed more through meditation. So you've been very, very successful in your career. For IBM, you've done great things. I remember this for IBM India and global now in many ways. So thank you for coming here to share. And then every time I heard you, it was always inspiring about things that you've done, which made you be successful and our nature was successful. So being here and then sharing your thoughts as you went through this 5 weeks of the program now, let me invite Namita Madam to formally introduce you.
Yes. Dear friends and masters, I'm happy to introduce Mr. Ganesh Magabandhu, currently the business advisor to Kyndryl India, formerly IBM Technology Services. He was general manager at IBM India, managing its multi-million-dollar technology business till 2017. In his 4 decades of work in IT industry in India, Singapore, and China, Mr. Ganesh held several leadership roles ranging from sales to marketing to operations. Mr. Ganesh is the academic council member at Dayanand Sagar University and CMR University at Bangalore. He loves several outdoor activities and Carnatic music, reads and listens to audiobooks, and regularly shares the knowledge with friends and colleagues. He lives in Bangalore, 200 meters away from Buddha CEO office. He is new to Buddha CEO and actively attending the Prosperity Program. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Namita ji, and thank you, Chandra. It's awesome, and I'm really honored that you had invited me to share with the larger audience. First and foremost, it's been 40 years since I've been working, and meditation is not something new, right? I remember ever since I've been working back in Wipro in the early 80s, in some program or other, we will end up doing some meditation, typically 15 minutes, 30 minutes. And the longest meditation I ever done, whether it's Isha Kriya or Sudarshan Kriya or the New Age meditation experts from the West, it's perhaps 3 days. When I say 3 days, 3 consecutive days is when maximum I've done, including my good friend Chandra, who invited me to Buddha CEO program back in 2017, Chandra, if I remember, at the Pyramid Valley, where I spent 3 wonderful days. But somehow, one thought that we are done with 3 days, okay, after all, it's inhalation, exhalation, good, close your eyes and get done, right? I think one had a very limited and appreciation of what meditation can do. And I realized what mistake that I have been making in all these years is approaching meditation just as a technique. I mean, if I just look at inhalation, exhalation as a technique, there isn't anything to learn from, right? So it so happened that Chandra called me one day and I ended up going to CEO, Buddha CEO office, which is very close to my home. And Chandra, being a very persistent leader always, he said, Ganesh, when are we going to join my program? I said, no, not for me, okay? Again, he left me. Then a couple of months later, he said, hey, I have a 40-day program, please join. I went to his office and this time he was hell-bent on changing me. And then he said, please come. I said, what time? He said 6 o'clock in the morning. I thought, okay, it's a wonderful excuse not to go because 6 o'clock is my shuttle time. I said, oh, Chandra, no, you can't do it in the morning. I can't do it in the morning. Maybe you have an evening time, you tell me. Chandra smiled and said, no problem. There is also an evening slot. Take it. I said, great. I can't escape this man. Then he said me, except that you have to go to the US to take it in the evening. It's both in India and the US at the same time. Finally, he told me, at least come for a week. So friends, I started doing this with an intention of doing it for a week. And honestly, I thought maybe I have got it, so let me not do it again. I know what Chandra had in mind, but I thought I will quit. Something or other happened. At the end of the first week, I fell ill. I mean, not seriously, but I wasn't feeling good. My wife told me maybe COVID, maybe something else. So she said, you're not going to go out of the home. So the second week got gifted by the so-called illness. And as I was about to wrap up the third week, I got a message on one morning in my phone saying, HSR Club has got a tournament and then the court is shut for a week. So third week went, and I tell you, this is when I realized I'm just trying to really learn this time, thanks to Chandra. So something outside me is forcing me to really get to know this. And I am telling you with all humility and sincerity, it's been now 33rd day, not one day I missed, and I took copious notes, I love journaling. And to me, this whole program of meditation is very different. I'm looking at it from the technique that Chandra has been, of course, very diligently teaching. That's only one aspect. The whole package of how preceding the event, post, the wonderful connection to various ideas and thoughts. And I tell you, I have taken notes of that, Chandra, and I really want to share some of the stuff that I learned. And it's amazing to me. You won't get it in YouTube by just going and listening to a 15, 20, 30 minutes, meditation. And that's technique. And I realized my bounce is different. At 64, I believe I'm looking very energetic. Not that I would attribute everything to this meditation, but meditation is really shaping up and it's kind of making it better and better. And if you really ask me, the smile is different and I'm becoming calmer, quieter, and so on. So where do I begin? First of all, I've been a reluctant meditator and I believe I don't have any expectation out of this. I'm not seeing the tunnel stuff. I'm not seeing the white light, and I really don't want to get into all of that. But I see tremendous benefit in the quality of life that I have been leading. And that has been an amazing experience in the last literally 30 days, right? I believe I am a work in progress. I don't think this meditation is going to stop at the end of this 40 days. I think it's going to be there till the last day of my life. And I do believe that there are few lessons that I learned is awesome. First of all, I'm not looking at this as a quick fix. This is not Dolo 650 going to solve some problem. So it's a long love affair, romance for the rest of the life. So a couple of quick stories. Number one, how the daily routine is changed. I've been an early riser, but then get up at 5:30, have a hot cup of coffee, then get on, put on the shoes and rush. It's rush to the shuttle court, right? The daily routine has changed tremendously. I've been a big coffee drinker, and for long I've been having acidity, and I've been wanting to stop taking coffee, right? For whatever reason, this meditation preparation for this meditation came in as a right excuse to stop having coffee. Instead, I have hot water with honey and lemon in the morning, just before the meditation, and I have a cold shower. I never used to have a cold shower in the morning, but I do have a lukewarm cold shower. It's completely changed the way I look at my stuff, right? So the daily routine is changed, and it's changed for now 33 days. And I don't think after I finish with 40 days, I want to go back to the old one. I will continue. And it's a small micro change, okay? Second, very interesting, eating. You must be wondering, what is this nonsense, meditation and eating? Of course, it changed tremendously. Digestion. I now start chewing stuff. I have one idli for 15 minutes. I couldn't believe that. I drink idli and eat coffee. I do it so slowly. I'm just wondering why it happened, because I observe the food. I go to some of those stand and eat joint. I hate standing and eating now. I feel like sitting down quietly and have one idli. And I couldn't believe one idli could be taken for 15 minutes. I think what Chandra used to tell us, it makes you, very composed, very energetic, the digestion is very good, keep the tummy empty, so you feel agile, again, your bounce is better. The third story is, I think, after listening to Chandra in many of those days sessions, I believe we can be more kinder. All around my house, I see these mosquito bats that my family used to buy, the Chinese mosquito bats, used in the evening when mosquitoes come just to kill it. I thought, what are the poor mosquitoes doing to kill it? Why should we have this bat? If you want to protect ourselves, have more nets and do that. And maybe close the windows very early in the day. But why to kill the poor mosquitoes who have done nothing? Maybe we create a problem by creating a lot of filth around and the mosquitoes come. So hence I said, no, I'm going to throw these mosquito bats out. Very small act, but I think it's a very important act to, be very compassionate to every creature in the world. Again, I would believe it would have happened just like that without that, the conversation, Chandra, you have been really having with all of us about compassion. And today you talked about ahimsa, peace, and so on. Right? Another story, shortcomings. How do I respond? I know at times I get very wild when the food is not good. I remember, I used to say, hey, and so on and so forth, shout at my wife in the kitchen. But one day when I was eating, and I finished eating off of it, then I realized there is absolutely no salt. So I just would have shouted. Instead, I called up and smiled and said, hey, look like today you decided to control my blood pressure. He said, wow, is it? Then I politely told them, maybe you can add a little bit more salt. And when they found there is absolutely no salt, they were embarrassed. Then I was wondering, why did they react that way? Very composed, quiet, and that kind of made it fun, saying my blood pressure is being controlled by the family, right? So that's a very sensible way, gratitude, thanking people who spend, their life and time to support us. And I also believe meditation helps creates the distance. When I say distance from the problem when it is needed. I'll give a perspective to this. I know many of us fly to Mumbai, and when you fly down, particularly in the night, and you land in Mumbai, and the flight will take a circle around the city, and you will see this wonderful, beautiful Nariman Point from the sky. It is looking like 1 minute. There is some noise going around. Yeah, can I? Just 1 minute, please. Okay. It looks like such a beautiful stuff, and it's called the Queen's Necklace. And imagine from the flight, we have been observing it, and it's wonderfully looking like a Queen's Necklace. But the person who's sitting in the car with his headlight on, bumper to bumper traffic, wanting to reach home early, to be with their lovely, kids, he is getting frustrated. Right? But I think the person who's sitting in the aircraft is able to appreciate and see it as a Queen's Necklace. So one man's, amrut is another man's poison. Okay? But I think meditation, in my view, helps us to get that perspective of distancing from the problem. I mean, I'm just giving this as a metaphor that how do we really make sure that not all problems need to be, shouted at. We can embrace the problem sometimes and enjoy it. And then the last one I really wanted to leave with is something that I love, because every time when we listen to these folks in the program, even before the program, they play a lot of videos. And one of the videos, I don't remember, Chandra, which are the days, maybe a couple of days back, Patriji came and shared with us about meditation. And he said something wonderfully. And the message I had taken from that is, he says, you think you can do meditation as an elderly person? Kids can do meditation better. So don't be very proud that you are elder. He said, women can do meditation better than men. So don't think you are physically very strong, six packs and so on. I remember he said, rural people, people in the villages can do meditation better than those of us sitting in the, big cities. And he even said, uneducated or illiterate people can do meditation better than educated people. And I was actually reflecting on this whole, video. And I think he was trying to say something. It's not just simply saying who can do better. He's simply saying meditation is not an exclusive property of someone who's educated, someone who's well off, someone who is very stronger and so on. It's something inborn with us. In fact, weaker you are, it is better. So with that thought, I said, what can we do? We can learn from this. And if we are financially well off, then we can help some other people, meditate. Some people who can't afford this program, maybe as Sanchandra said, we can donate and start doing some stuff, right? And don't have to believe that you are physically fit. You can help people who are having some physical challenges at home, right? So essentially, this meditation is not just only for us. It's not about doing something to keep ourselves. It's essentially to give back, serve, and kind of help make the life better for others. So those are some of the stuff. I know many of you may be disappointed that I haven't explained what I am going through, but I am really looking at what is in after the 7:30, 8 o'clock program. I think I straight away jumped into that, and I found tremendous amount of benefits in the last 33 days. So thanks once again, Chandra, for inducting me into this. It's nobody could have done it other than you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ganesh. Wonderfully observing things. I really loved when I said, you're seriously throwing the bats away, the rackets that are there to take the mosquitoes out in the flash. It is true. It's wonderful to be observing to that level. The things that bear the greatest brunt of us are the mosquitoes and the cockroaches, for no reason. Developing that friendship, developing that compassion towards everything, recognizing that if anything is coming, that there is something to learn. Every insect, every animal actually gives a message. One must read these stories from Ted Andrews, a shaman master. Shamans are only about taking messages from the nature. There's always a story. It's not just stuff that is there, but doing our part, identifying kindness and then going into it. So thank you for observing many things. I'm sure the more you're going to continue, and the more we all are continuing, it's going to change the way we think and look at life as observing. I wanted to ask you a couple of questions.
Mm-hmm.
Few things that you've been a very, very successful leader.
Mm-hmm.
I fundamentally believe they're all successful people. When I say successful people, that gives you joy and happiness, and you enable and empower many people around you. It could be money, it could be, somebody experiencing deeply something. So all successful people, in my view, are already got some of these qualities that you build through meditation, because they are basically have perhaps done a lot of the meditation from the past. We all start from where we left in the past. And so, for example, a greatest quality of meditation building is to be staying on top of your vision, no matter what your challenges today are, staying on top of the long-term goals. Meditation is helping us to disengage from the present, and so that you're actually there on your vision, you actually continue to dream. And so you create a greater future and not get succumbed to the pressures of today. And many, many leaders who are successful have done that. And so that is a great quality that we build to understand that I don't get every challenge that coming is to get me better. So a quality that directly built out of meditation is there for leaders like you. And so then you have to believe that all of us, some of leaders like you have already done meditation. So it's just a matter of how many you get through to a detailed level like this program, like Gautama Buddha, right? Once he got in, it's not like a starting point of meditation. And only at 29 years he got into meditation. He remembered everything about himself, but at the age of 29, and then it wasn't now the starting point. So to me, asking you, what are those 3-4 things that you really help you to be very successful, that you do religiously in your career? What are those qualities that help you to be successful? You're on mute.
I'm sorry, I unmuted. It's a very deep question. I don't think one could just answer it, just do justice by answering in few bullets. But let me attempt in the limited time that we have. First of all, I would say what you said is so true. I mean, people have got success at different levels, whether you are a CEO of a 1 billion company or a 100 billion company, doesn't matter. You all believe that we are successful. I think that arrogance itself is the first one that I noticed, is the one that prevented me getting deeply involved in any of the programs that people have initiated so far, right? I think it's experience, and it is seeing the stuff around you. Over time, you realize how wrong we were in assuming we know it all. I think the biggest reason for whatever, if I call myself a success, is learning. Continually being in touch with people, not only reading books. Reading books, of course, is the biggest piece, listening to good audios and so on. And it reminded me all the time, hey, Ganesh, we are measuring infinity. It's stupidity, first of all, to measure infinity. In that infinite stuff, you are minuscule. So what is it that you don't know? Just spend the time. I mean, now I am 64. Every day I look at and say, what can I learn more? So I'm very inquisitive like a kid. And I don't know how it happened to me, but I think I developed this. And I think that is what I do. If I see you telling me something, I will take notes. Doesn't matter whether it is Chandra or some very junior level person. I'm trying to look for, hey, what is the gold in the conversation that I can really pick and I can make use of. And second, I think some of the disciplines of notes taking, reflection time. I come home and spend some time. And before the end of the day, every day I spend about 10-15 minutes. That's been a practice for the last 30 years. No day I finish. I mean, you see here, this is the iPad, right? I always use iPad, handwritten notes. At least, for example, for the 33 days, I have 1.5-2 pages of journaling of every day of my observation, learnings. What can I do? And what can I improvise? And even I do sometimes very stupidly, but it's a good thought. Don't get me negatively. It's not with arrogance. Hey, what can I do better than Chandra? Hey, Chandra conveyed it this way. Can I do it this way, right? So it is not to, I mean, I'm just giving as an example. I don't want to take others' views as the end, but I just want to take that as a starting point and use my own self-knowledge and reflection. And end of the day, I believe it's me. I am not going to be modeled after somebody. I don't have a role model. Of course, I watch everybody, but the role model is myself. So how can I do things better? Okay. And I give this mathematical example. I'm sure many of you will understand. If you do, 1 raised to the power of something, you know that, right? Suppose you raise 1 to the power of X, it is still 1, right? So people said, be consistent, repeat it every day, consistently, day after day after day after day. Fantastic. You do 365 days, at the end of the 365 days, that one that you start on January 1st is still 1, because that's what happens to 1 raised to the power of 365 is still 1. What if that 1 of January 1st becomes 100 better the next day? Then it becomes 1.01. That's all, 100, maybe even 1000, doesn't matter, 1.001, but it's not 1. Wednesday is not 1.001, it is 1.002. That incremental increase in the actions that we do. I jog extensively. I say, okay, today, and next day that becomes the baseline, right? I think it's not only for business, it's for everything that we do, right? You want to reduce certain things, you want to stop drinking coffee, maybe I'll have, instead of 3 cups, 2 cups, right? So I think it is that that combination of all of that, Chandra. It's not rocket science. Trust me, there is no rocket science. And it's about doing small things very diligently, religiously, and paying attention. I think you said it, observing. And I would put, if there is one word I would pick, learning. Continuously keep my eyes and ears open for new things. Reinvent myself. Make the new you always get reflected.
Well, I think wonderful. It just once again validates that the thing that is common with people who are successful is learning. The day we stop learning, 22 years now, I've finished my graduation, so I'm done with the books and we leave them, then that's where we are staying. I think the one thing that comes across, and learning. Bill Gates, I was surprised when I was doing his documentary. There is a documentary. He was carrying a bag full of books, like a vegetable basket. It's a basket. And if I count, there are at least 20 books. The thing is, and those 20 books in the documentary says they get refreshed every week. His secretary made sure that they're refreshed every week. A voracious reader. And is reading not just only a business growth stuff. He's reading environment, he's reading science, he's reading all kinds of stuff. Political influences. Of course, the work with which he is doing requires whatever that is understood, but he's understanding everything. Knowledge is precursor to experience. I love the statement from Dr. Joe Dispenza. Knowledge is precursor to experience. And if here is about experiencing life, then we continue to learn. And then learn in the areas that we're interested, so we continue to experience that more. So you once again said it, and I was very happy when I read your profile, where it says that I continuously listen and read and then keep sharing. And success is really there.
If you have time, there is a very interesting thing for the benefit of everyone I will share, if you have the time. If you don't have that,
share.
Since you said about learning, it didn't happen to me accidentally. It happened because, like how you have been talking, I was listening to someone some 20, 30 years back. The story of a black belt. You know, if you are a martial arts student, you go learn karate or kung fu or whatever it is. But you know, after 1 or 2 years of hard work, you are presented that black belt. And that's the biggest culmination of the pinnacle of martial arts, if you'd say, right? So here is a student who very wonderfully learned the art of karate. And the day came, he went and knelt in front of the master and said, "Master, I'm ready to receive the black belt." And master took the black belt and was present. All other students were there. Suddenly stopped giving it. No. I have a bad habit. Before I present the black belt, I asked the question, please answer it. The student said, "Yes, sir." "What is the meaning of black belt?" Student said, "Oh, black belt signifies the pinnacle of success. It signifies the hard work that I've gone through in the school for the last 2 years, and so on and so forth, techniques, etc." Master smiled at him and said, "I'm satisfied, but not full. Please go back, learn for 1 more year and come back." Disappointed, he went back, again learned a lot more new techniques, become the best of the best. In fact, the whole school, he was a topper. He can actually defeat anyone. Again, the next year, same ceremony, he went. Master smiled. "You know what I'm going to ask?" Student said, "Yes, sir." This time I understood. I need to be very humble. I shouldn't be bragging about my strengths and so on and so forth. The master said, "This is interesting, but definitely better than what you told me last time, but still doesn't satisfy me. Go back." This time he was really frustrated. He went back and he didn't do a lot of exercise and practice. Instead, he sat and said, What is it that I'm doing that makes the master believe that I'm not good? He understood. He practiced, he understood. Next year, master smiled. He said, can I begin with the answer? Master said, please. To me, black belt signifies the beginning. It tells me I'm going to get into the real world where my learning is really going to start. Now is when I'm going to be observing and making sure that not only that I use the stuff that I learn to make others learn, but I'm going to take it as a beginning. So every day is going to be a new beginning. And that is what the significance. Every day when I look down on the black belt, it tells me, don't be arrogant. You don't know it all. Learn something new today. So I thought it's interesting to share that to the larger audience, Chandra.
Thank you. Thank you. What is enlightenment? This is where Patriji, the first thing in enlightenment is that know that you know little. A simplified word enlightenment is not some mega statements. Enlightenment is to recognize that we know so little that there is infinity to learn, and so then we only share what we know and then always paying attention to learn. Enlightenment is to recognize the infinity to learn. So it's encouraging so many books to read, to listen to others' experiences. You heard it where many of the videos is talking about. So thank you that you echoed it once again. This is what is, that's why when we are enlightened, when we are successful, there is somewhere all the qualities of enlightenment are there. Right? All the qualities of enlightenment are there. So thank you, Ganesh, for joining. And we continue to be with you, and then we hope to continue the journey together. And then I'll meet you soon, next week, for coffee again. So thank you, dear friends. Thank you all for this wonderful discussion. And Mr. Ganesh is going to do a master class. You're still doing, I suppose, right? Next week.
29th, right?
29th, yeah. Yes. Master class will be a very engaging conversations with several stories that relate to our growth in whatever they're looking for. Right. So he's going to speak, he's going to have a master class on Saturday, the last Saturday of this month in the evening. Always wonderful to listen to him. When I went into IBM, my company got acquired, so the first thing was there. And he was being a very senior leader. So he was going around always inspiring people by giving a lecture or two. And so I picked up some stories from what he was talking about, of how we form our beliefs, how we don't let go of beliefs, how we are arrogant to not listen. So several anecdotes and stories that he brought in there was lively. So I thought it's pretty interesting. And now with a lot of meditation strength, we have a better understanding too of these stories. So we'll have a masterclass on this next week, next Saturday. So tune into that. Thank you for agreeing to do that.
It's a pleasure. Simplest to give back.
All right. Thank you all, dear friends. So have a wonderful weekend. And so we'll see you tomorrow for a long meditation, Sunday long meditation, and stepping into the next week. Thank you.
Do I desire? What will bring me to my highest good? What do I want? What do I desire? What will bring me to my highest good? Prosperity, prosperity, I claim it, I claim it. Abundance, abundance is mine, is mine. Love, love flows through.
Mr. Sharanji, any observation of what you heard? Yes, sir, we can't hear you. You have to unmute yourself.
I've done that.
Yes.
Observations are plenty, but I find myself a little on the back bench because of this memory issues which I've had since childhood. But in case till that proves, which I have started working on it now, the learning process had almost come to a standstill, because whatever I do, I had to stop reading books, and because the memory issues. So that is the only thing which now I'm sure with meditations thing will start happening.
Yes, sir. It's all going to happen. It's all going to happen. So let's engage, continue to engage. We have a week left, but then we continue to do programs. So stay connected. We'll speak at the end of the program too.
I'm sure, sir.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Anything towards what you heard? Thank you, sir. Anything towards what you heard from Mr. Dinesh?
Namaste, Chandra sir, and Namaste, Ganeshji. What a powerful message. The best one, the last one that he mentioned about the black belt. So true that learning, I learned something totally new, that, black belt. Now every time I'm going to say black belt, I'm starting to learn. There's nothing like, that's the most powerful message that Ganeshji gave. That the humility is there, yes, but for every single thing, we're constantly learning. It's most beautiful. Thank you so much.
Sure. Black belt signifies.
Thank you, Mrs. Patel. Thank you. It's really, more you become older, you get to know more of what you miss learning. Okay.
Yes, and this meditation teaches you, and that we get in touch with people like you and Chandra sir and all the other masters. You learn so much that books plays such an important role. I used to read a lot,
Right.
And I'm starting again, slowly.
Right.
Because with all the other things, life happens and you put it in the back burner. Now I'm trying to put it in the front burner. So
in fact, if there is one sentence I can say, this is what I learned in the last 33 days is, meditation is the bridge between spirituality and practicality. And I am a big believer of practicality. And I was only believing in practicality. Come on, guys, let's do it type, right? What's in it for us? Operation. Get going. Got it, right? Inhale, exhale. Okay, fantastic. What is there in it? Over. So that dimension of the spirituality, I'm not getting into the religious part, is missing. And what I have very shockingly realized, I wasted 40 years of not knowing it, is the bridge between spirituality and practicality. That's very difficult to learn. It can only be experienced.
Right. And also the other thing that you mentioned, 0.001 or 0.0001, it's just a start. You make yourself better, even if it is in all these things you learn. Okay, put it in your life, that 0.1% or 0.00001%. But if you put it, that means that you have achieved something. You have moved forward. No matter how minuscule.
Thank you. You got it. Today is better than yesterday. How better? I'm least interested, but better. Right?
True. Very true.
And that's the reason why I walk 20 kilometers a day, every day. Even
that
today,
is awesome.
That is not because I physically fail. It's just the determination to make at least 100 meters more tomorrow than today. That's enough. 50 meters, okay. Go up to Rainbow Drive instead of Wipro. At least I gained a little bit more distance, right?
True. Very true. Thank you very much. I would love to hear your masterclass.
Yeah. Okay.
From today, we're going to increase our meditation time by 2 minutes every day.
There you go.
See, here comes the Buddha CEO salesman.
Okay.
Thank you, thank you, thank you again.
Yes. Anusha, madam?
Yes, the wonderful point, like, life is a continuous process of learning. So once again, Sir has impressed upon this importance of learning every day. I'm really taking that from this many more points. Though we know, like when someone tells no, really, it once again, inspires us to follow more. So the learning part, the books which I'm not continuously reading, which I have to start and giving importance for reading.
Yeah. The consciousness is always bringing the most important things for the forefront. The only message of Patriji is, apart from meditation, read. And then that's the message that Ganesh is giving.
Yes.
That's the message, that's it. Everything else, I know he's got 100 other tools and to be successful, detailed planning, all that is there. But he nailed it on the head saying, this is it. Just learn and then everything is given. That's it. Right? We'll keep it simple. So that's what we are doing here. So thank you. Thank you, Anisha, madam. We get to meet Ganesh more often, being next to PSSM Foundation. Anisha, madam is, here are two great volunteers for us. One is handling a website. Anisha is handling a finance for foundation, volunteering. And both are volunteering, otherwise are very senior professionals in their companies. Thank you.
She's the one I met in the office during lunch.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes, you met. You must have met.
Along.
Thank you all. Have a wonderful day.
All the time, I can have it, I deserve it.